That is better than 58.
Breaking news!
Breaking news, math exists.
That being said, last year was probably his worst year. Couldn't throw the ball deep. Had no accuracy when it came to that. But that's part of my intrigue, because I'm sure you're going to bring that up as far as his good and his bad.
Right. That's one of the things. The problem that I see is that his freshman year was his best. And after that, it feels like he's dropped off a lot.
And that's part of the reason that I'm intrigued most about this season, because we brought in, and Ohio State brought in Kevin Wilson, who was the former head coach of Indiana.
Who was garbage.
Yes, but they were good at passing. They were a good passing team, and they could put points on the board. He was brought in specifically for offensive coordinator to improve those numbers as far as accuracy and increase the deep threat potential. Not to mention, Ohio State last year really didn't have a wide receiver that stood out more than anybody else. Curtis Samuel was the closest thing, and he was more of a running back.
Noah Brown.
He
was he got drafted as a wide receiver.
Yeah? Where's he play?
He's with the Cowboys.
Oh. Yeah? Where is he in your rotation?
He's a number 2 receiver.
So after Dez, you really don't have much.
It's Dez. Okay, no. Okay, so he's a slot receiver. So the depth chart is Dez and Bryce Butler are 1s. Terrence Williams is the number 2, and then the slot receivers are Cole Beasley and he's a 2 with Bryce Butler, and then it's Ryan Switzer who's the other.
That might be a good fit for him, but that's the thing. He's a number 2. He's not a number 1. There hasn't been a number 1 on Ohio State since Michael Thomas.
Since who?
Michael Thomas.
Right.
The wide receiver who now plays for New Orleans.
Right.
He was more of a number 1.
Crazy that he was number 1.
Oh, it is. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Ohio State has needed a wide receiver to actually emerge. I mean, how many top picks do you need to take or how many top recruits do you need to take before one of these kids hits pay dirt?
Apparently, a whole lot. Apparently, a whole lot. All right. So, the good with him, he's a good runner. He's got a solid drop back, powerful. He's got good downfield vision, and he makes good, quick decisions. He looks really good against really bad defenses.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the other problems I have with him.
That's more, I believe, Urban Myers than him.
Bad. He's an average passer.
Agreed.
And as a quarterback, especially in the Big Ten, I want a good passer. But
I mean, he fits Urban's system, and you don't need to be a good passer. Ask Tebow.
Yeah, he doesn't have an overly strong arm. It seems like he can make one really strong throw, and then his arm needs to work its energy back up, and then he can make another one. Whereas you see quarterbacks like
he's got to build
Mason,
a combo, and then he can do his super move. He's got,
right? That's what it is.
Combo, and then
that's what it is.
Boom.
Absolutely.
Start from scratch.
His wide receivers made him look better as a passer, because a lot of times they would take a short little pass and they're shifty enough to get around.
Yeah, the screen pass, I'll give you that. But what you're overlooking is the fact that his wide receivers didn't make him look good in the end zone. The amount of passes I watched Ohio State drop in the end zone last year is disgusting.
Yo, you're right.
Disgusting. It should never have been that many drops.
You're right. The other thing, if you force him to throw, he's not going to beat you.
He's not good under pressure.
No. And I had some...
And he's going to scramble more often than not.
Yeah, and I had some stats that I thought were fair at first. I realized they're not now, so I'm just going to avoid looking at those. It was comparing him to another running quarterback, Lamar Jackson. And then I remembered he won a Heisman. It's not fair. Yeah, it's not fair to compare, so we'll skip
quite
that.
In the same conversation.
All right. So you got some other people from Ohio State.
I'm just going to rifle off a couple of people. Just keep an eye on NFL possible potential from my fandom in the Ohio State Buckeyes. First off, Tyquan Lewis, defensive end, defensive lineman, recorded 29 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, 8 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. We're going to see him on Sundays. Really part of an absolutely loaded D-line. That's amazing. That is amazing to me. That's still a lot there from an Ohio State team that lost a lot in the draft.
It seems like the youngest player on this Ohio State team is 40.
It does seem at times.
It feels like they're all old. It feels like J.T. Barrett, like Cardale Jones, and
I'm pretty sure J.T. Barrett's older than me, and I'm 30.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they all melted into one quarterback.
Yeah.
So they from Troy Smith all the way down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure some of them graduated with Urban Myers.
I'm pretty sure one of them is Urban Meyer's father.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Another guy to watch is Jerome Baker, linebacker, junior, 83 tackles, 9.5 for loss, 3.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 1 fumble recovery. The kid's all over the place. He's primed to lead this linebacking core now, given goodness, what was his name?
Raekwon McMillan?
Yes, McMillan. He just went down, unfortunately, in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be a great linebacker. Another one just to keep an eye out, just because of name, didn't have a great year last year. Expect him to be more comfortable in the college game is Nick Bosa. Only 29
Joey's
tackles,
little brother.
5 sacks, though, his freshman year. 7 tackles for loss. If he's anything like his brother, we're going to be seeing a lot more of him this year.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. Just like T.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Oh,
good
man.
point.
So good. Very first play, and he blows right by Eric Flowers for a sack. Very first play. And he looked fast. Like, faster than I'd ever seen him in college.
His brother's got to be giving him some tips.
Yeah.
Must be.
And that's part of the reason I say watch out for Nick Bosa, because if
he's got an off season, might as well go train with your brother.
Yeah, if Joey crushed it with the limit of games he had in his contract dispute with San Diego, and he's giving his brother advice, Nick Bosa could be dangerous down the line.
Uh-huh. All right.
God forbid the two of them end up on the same team. 2DN, the Bosa brothers. It's like the Bash brothers all of a sudden.
Scary. Scary thought.
Let's break down what we think's going to happen here.
Really quickly, Not a Clue podcast. Bowling Green will crash the party, or the long-lost BCS, whichever comes first. Bowling Green ain't doing nothing. All right. So let's start with the West, obviously.
The University of Buffalo is only predicted to beat Bowling Green this year.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure I looked it up last night, and it's the only team University of Buffalo is projected to beat.
That's great.
That's tough.
Yep.
Let's try and get through these kind of quick. I think we're
we got it. We got it.
Yep.
Let's go.
All right. Big Ten West. All right. I've got at number 7 with a 4-8 overall record, 2-7 in conference, the Illinois Illini.
You're a lot kinder to them than I am. I have them at 7 as well. I'm giving them 2 wins.
Ball State and Western Kentucky.
Yes.
You don't think they'll beat Rutgers? Get out of here.
I think Rutgers, that might be Rutgers' 1 win that I gave them.
Get out of here.
I think that's the only
I have
might
Purdue.
be the only team they can win
against. I think they also
have Purdue in 7th.
I think they also shocked Minnesota. But you have Purdue at 7. I have Purdue at 6.
1-11, 0-8 for Purdue.
Whoa. I have them 5-7, 3-6 in conference.
They're the only team worse than Rutgers.
I don't think they're worse than Rutgers. I think I have them 4 and 8, but now I'm wondering if I should maybe demote them 1 game. I forget who the matchup was that I said they were going to win.
They play Ohio, Missouri, Rutgers, Illinois, Indiana, Louisville, Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Northwestern, and Iowa. So they don't have to play Ohio State. They don't have to play Penn State. So they got lucky there.
I don't see the talent. 6th, I have Illinois at 4-8, 2-6.
Okay. All right. 3-6. 3-6 or 2-7 for conference.
How would they be 2-7? There's not 9 games that you play.
No. They play Rutgers, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Northwestern, Iowa.
Okay. 3-9 then.
Okay. 3-6. Got it. At number 5, I have Minnesota. 7-5 overall, 4-5 in conference.
I have them 4-5, 6-6. I don't think they're going to be anything to write home about.
What are we
number 5.
Minnesota 3-7. Or I'm sorry, Jesus. 5-7, 3-6.
Okay. Number 4, I have Nebraska at 7-5, 4-5 in conference.
I have Iowa with the same. I think Nebraska might surprise some people. Not a lot, but I think they might win one or two more than.
I'm going based off the fact that Nebraska, like when they hit like week 7, just fall. So they're like nosedive after like week 7.
It's possible. Definitely possible.
It's like every year they do that. Who do you have it for, Tony?
I have Nebraska as well, 6-6.
All right. And number 3, I have Iowa with a 9-3 overall record, 6-3 in conference.
I have Iowa at 8-4 and 6-3 in conference.
What number are we on?
Number 3.
I got lost for a second. Number 3. I think Iowa?
You said you had Iowa.
No, sorry. Yeah, Nebraska. Nebraska, that's where I have them. Sorry. 5-4, 7-5.
Okay. Number 2, Northwestern, 9-3, 6-3 in conference.
Exact same thing.
Northwestern, I took them one game down. But they could easily win that game. I think they're probably, the biggest threat, if there is one, to Wisconsin for the West, but I don't really think there is one.
No, I don't.
And we're all agreed on Wisconsin.
Number 1 is Wisconsin with an overall record of 11-1, 8-1 in conference.
Agreed.
Their one loss coming to Iowa.
Wait, don't they have...
They beat Utah State, they beat FAU, they beat BYU, beat Northwestern, beat Nebraska, beat Purdue, beat Maryland, beat Illinois, beat Indiana, beat Michigan, beat Minnesota, lose to Iowa. That's what I have.
Yeah, them losing to Iowa?
Listen, Kinnick is tough.
Okay. I have Wisconsin 10-2, but that was just going off of stats. I didn't really have another game that I thought they'd lose.
Okay.
That I can think of off the top of my head. I don't have the schedule in front of me.
Do you want the schedule in front of you?
Let's keep
I have
going.
the same thing as you do.
As
far as 11-1, 8-1.
So that means Wisconsin represents the Big Ten West. Big Ten East, 7th place with an overall record of 2-10, 0-9 in conference. Rutgers.
2-10, 1-8 in conference. Rutgers.
I have the same as Tony.
6th place, 3-9 overall, 1-8 in conference. Michigan State.
I have Maryland 2-10 and 1-8.
I have Maryland with one more win, out of conference though.
I have Indiana at 5. Indiana 6-6, 3-6 in conference.
I have Indiana 7-5, 4-5 in conference.
I have Indiana 5-7 and 4-5 in conference.
No faith in the East.
Listen, these all have to
top heavy.
Yeah, they all have to play Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan.
But they also all have to play each other after those.
In 4th place, I have Maryland at 6-6, 3-6 overall record.
Boo, Wendy Testaberger. Boo. Boo, Wendy.
They beat Texas. They beat Towson, Central Florida.
They don't beat Texas.
I think they beat Texas.
No, they're Maryland.
They
Get
beat
real.
They beat Indiana, beat Rutgers, beat Michigan State. Those are the 6 wins.
Probably lose to Indiana.
I have Michigan State, same thing, 7-5, 4-5.
I have Michigan State at 6-6, 4-5.
Okay. Number 3, with a 9-3 overall record, 6-3 in conference, Ohio State Buckeyes. I am kidding. Michigan Wolverines.
Michigan, okay. I was gonna say.
I was about to leave.
That is insane.
I'll take them being in second place in your fantasy land. That's fine.
But not 3rd.
But 3rd is an insult. How dare you?
The 3 losses I have are to Penn State, Wisconsin, Ohio State.
That's. I actually.
Michigan? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. 9-3.
And they could get
6-3. Right?
They might get beat by someone else too. They have a lot of question marks.
Mm-hmm.
I think they beat Florida